Do you wonder what sources your happiness? Hi, I'm Mary Campbell of Divining Beauty, and I'm curious about joy. So in this moment, I'm outside in the most joyful place for me. This is my garden in the back of my house. I have peach trees and Asian pear trees here, and so much that I know sources my joy, my happiness. But right now, I'd like you to remember a moment when you were truly joyful, truly full of joy and happiness. Let yourself have that moment for a minute and notice what your body is feeling as well. So there are moments like these powerful, exquisite moments in our lives that have an indelible mark in us that really connect us with something deeper. I have memories of singing a soprano line of the Brahms Requiem with 150 other people. I have memories of holding my newborn daughter, my firstborn, as I brought her to my breast. I have memories of the beauty around me when I was walking in nature at Muir Woods. There are these moments that transform us, and they also have this visceral sense in our body of connection. So the word I use when I'm talking about that experience is intimacy. Sometimes we think of intimacy as just sexual. It is a body sensation, I think, but it's something that goes deeper. It's something that connects us in a way to not just another person, but to everything when we open up to feel all that's there. I've been, over the last 5 weeks now, sharing a practice I have created that's sort of a 5-step sense meditation practice to have us come back into a closer sense of our connection to what's around us so that we can experience more of the joy that we're meant to have, like the joy of those chimes ringing in the background. Just takes me to that place. But I've learned that there's a process or practice to open us to more joy, because most of the time we are distracted by everything around us. Or maybe it's just our vestibular brain going to what needs to be fixed in that moment. Maybe it's a habit. But we have this tendency in our culture to disconnect from the body, partly I think from decades and centuries of a sense in Western culture and Western religions that the body was evil and it needed to be suppressed. But this is deep in us, and we have a weird dichotomy between that and then this over-sexualized experience in our culture of objectifying. So it's natural many women pull away from this deep sense of their body's intimacy. I watch that also create a hatred in their bodies for themselves, a real disconnection from the pleasure and joy it is to live in a body. So I'd like to introduce this practice to you now. This is the 5th week, so if you've been following week after week after week, you're maybe in the groove. This is how we start. First, notice. Just notice what's in front of your face. I happen to be noticing the orange trim on the door of my house, but if you can look out the window, enjoy something that's there. Enjoy something that catches your eye. Second step, why? Why does it catch your eye? What can you see there? What can you acknowledge? What do you notice? Is it the color or the shape or the design or the angle or the movement? What caught your eye? Third, if you can be in a place of recognizing how fortunate you are to have this moment, how fortunate you are. My Asian pear blossoms are just extraordinary, and they've been putting me just over the top with beauty as I trimmed them last week. So give yourself that chance to say, oh, whoa, thank you. It's gratitude. Gratitude always brings us back to ourselves in a deeper way and out of the stories our mind creates. And then the 4th step last week is allowing this visceral sense in your body, allowing that gratitude to amplify so that you're really open to awe and wonder, really the core of joy, That awe and wonder is something that can happen with anything in your surroundings. It can really, the more you take it in, the more you let yourself be impacted, the more you really feel that gratitude, the more it's possible to get to that state, or to allow yourself to be in that state of hugely open connection to everything else, to feel that there's no separation, that we're all interdependent, interconnected. It's really what Joanna Macy calls the greening of ourselves. We're coming to that after 500 years of pushing away nature, pushing away the body, finding a separation there, being strictly in our mind and intellect. I believe that real practice, real spiritual practice, or just real ownership of ourselves in this place on the earth has to acknowledge our deep connection with what's here, with our environment, with how it connects to our deep felt sense in us, and how it opens us to awe and wonder and a deeper connection to all of life. We are inseparable from the salamander crawling on the ground, from the bird flying above us, from the rock that's there. There's so much wisdom that I gain by connection and by just asking questions, being in nature, having an opportunity to drop out of my mind for 2 minutes or 10 minutes or 2 hours, whatever the day allows, but for having an opportunity to come deeply into this place of connection with who I am in a bigger sense, and what everything around me is in connection to that. I'd love you to explore this practice. I'd love you to try it out, to give yourself a chance to land in that kind of joy, that kind of pleasure more often, that kind of intimacy, that kind of just relaxing into what I believe we were meant to have built in bodies like we are, with consciousness, with an ability to be aware and to be present. I am so glad you're here. Again, my name is Mary Campbell of Divining Beauty. I have practices below. You'll see different options of ways to connect with me. But most importantly, do this practice now. And thank you for enjoying the chainsaw behind me, if you hear it, or the geese way down on the pond beneath my house. Just this beautiful day. Happy to be with spring. Take care. Be well.